That's a
No
deal.
doubt about it!
Dirty Dan. Dirty Dan. Dirty Dan. I'm Dirty Dan. I don't know what you mean. I'm Dirty Dan.
It's absolutely amazing.
I'm Dirty Dan.
Whoa, Dirty Dan.
So y'all should already know one of my top 5 favorite animes, Yu Yu Hakusho. And I also fuck with Bleach. So we gotta do a death battle, baby. We doing the death battle. Yes, sirski. My nigga YUSUKE versus Ichigo. No, I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. As a Yusuke Urameshi fan, Yu Yu Hakusho is my shit. So I am a little biased. I would go ahead and lean and say, yeah, my nigga Yusuke gonna wash all day. But Ichigo ain't no hoe. Ichigo done went through some dog-ass training. Some dog-ass training. Not saying Yusuke did neither, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're training with Genkai and shit and doing everything. Even when he, like, you know, used his fucking power, like his like actual demon ability and shit. But if I had to take a guess, and you know I'm no betting man, but if I had to bet on some anime and say who's stronger between Yusuke Urameshi and Ichigo Kurosaki, unfortunately, bro, it pains me to say because I fuck with my boy, but I think Ichigo might be stronger than Yusuke, bro. I think Ichigo might actually got this. I want to see if I'm. Let's check it out.
Ichigo Kurosaki versus Yusuke Urameshi.
The substitute Shinigami of Bleach versus the spirit detective of Yu Yu Hakusho. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Death.
Tell me, Boomstick, what happens when we die?
Endless nothingness? Jeez, man, I don't know. We just started.
Our souls are ferried by Shinigami, gods of death, in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth.
That was my second guess.
And when a soul goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead.
This is for everyone who doesn't really know what Bleach is about.
A soul society.
Works great till it doesn't. Enter Ichigo Kurosaki, whose tragic anime backstory came way too early when his mom was killed by a hollow. Reason number 1 why you should never want your kid to be the anime protagonist.
Left with his grief, young Ichigo was crushed under the weight of survivor's guilt.
So he lashed out the only way he knew how, beating people up.
But this wound began to heal when he found his calling, upon meeting a Shinigami named Rukia. To stop a powerful hollow, she gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within.
Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute Shinigami. To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called Reishi. He can wield vast amounts of spiritual energy, called Ryoku, and exert it offensively in the form of spiritual pressure, or Reiatsu.
Okay, that's a lot of big words, but all it really means is he's a super-powered ghost with an epic sword. His spirit aura is so strong, it can stun-lock foes, crushing them under his own power, even fatally.
He controls spirit matter in and around him, hardening his skin for
Okay, man, spiritual pressure, Shinigami, so spiritual puppet, Reishi manipulation, Dengetsu, Quincy Dengetsu.
defense and leaping off of invisible footholds in the air. Paired with speed-boosting skills like Shunpo, he can virtually fly.
Say goodbye to the kid who beat up bullies for their lunch money, and hello to the town's new superhero, with fellow Ghostbusters, Orihime, Chad, and Uryu. Plus Rukia, it was the Shinigami's job to tear hollows a new hole.
While balancing responsibilities at school, of course. GPA comes first, and maybe a round or two of Tekken.
But it wouldn't be possible without his Shinigami blade,
Speaking of Tekken, I do need to get back on that. I do need to play some Tekken. It is Tuesday. Tuesday Tekken. Tuesday Tekken. Tuesday boxing.
Pakto. It's basically a superpowered spirit that's physically a sword. Ghost Sword.
Though strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of two distinct spirits, both named Zangetsu, which isn't confusing at all.
Just call him Old Man Zangetsu and Hollow Zangetsu. Anyway, the double Ghost Sword gives Ichigo lots of new moves, including his trademark attack, the Sword Beam to end all Sword Beams. Getsuga Tensho!
Getsuga Tensho is incredibly powerful, and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants. He can fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier, and combine two at once into the even stronger Getsuga Jujisho.
To cut even the biggest hollows down to size, Ichigo was ridiculously strong, even from frame 1.
He can make giant shockwaves and parry spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande. And these aren't fake, slower-than-light lasers. Guidebooks confirm they're real light, and the novels say so too.
Plus, early on, Uryu moved so fast that he left his own shadow behind.
But as Ichigo became more involved with the Soul Society,
You realize how fast you gotta be to leave your own shadow behind, my nigga? Uryu was dead ass different. To leave your own shadow?
he quickly found that he wasn't good enough.
This Byakuya guy's so fast, Ichigo can't even see him. Time for a good old-fashioned training arc. Hit the music!
Until now, Zangetsu had operated only in its base state, Shikai. So Ichigo learned to release its inner power, a 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master.
Bankai.
In Bankai, his speed skyrocketed, letting him turn the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even in Shikai, he blocked an attack that could destroy the whole frickin' Soul Society.
Because Ichigo's greatest gift is his potential to improve. Despite only being a teenager, he mastered swordsmanship well enough to thrash experts who had been training for centuries.
I hear you. I can't wait till we get to my boy Yusuke Urameshi.
He can quickly adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits time and time again.
Like when he took on Catboy Grimjow. He was getting clamped, but as soon as he heard Orihime cheering him on, that was all he needed to smash that kitty.
You mean Grimjow, right?
Yeah, but even with that main character energy, Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad Aizen. With just a finger, Aizen stopped Ichigo's Bankai and his theme song. Rude!
Ichigo needed to tap into his unexplained hollow power. Except Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Old Man Zang's pretty chill, but this guy's a menace.
Still, Ichigo needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Masked up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal lost limbs. But piss him off enough, and he'll go full hollow. And you really don't want that.
Hollowification exceeds even Bankai.
Oh God, what's good, Miss Parker? You know what I'm saying? You already know Yusuke my nigga, and I fuck with Bleach. So Yusuke Urameshi versus Ichigo? Come on now. You know I had to lock in. Lock in on these one.
And was enough to crush Ukiura in a battle that shook all of Hueco Mundo, the world of hollows.
Full hollow Ichigo could even tear through all 3 layers of hell.
But with help from his secret Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to train for months in the Dangai, a corridor between dimensions, until he was finally ready to challenge Aizen.
Challenge is an understatement. He manhandled Aizen, shattered mountains with sheer aura, and flexed so hard he smashed out of the black coffin, which crushes space like a mini black hole.
And yet, it's still...
I mean, he kinda is. Freaky scientist nigga. I'm about to say, are they the same voice? I don't think they're the same voice actor. But, I mean, if you do fuck with Orochimaru, then yeah. Yeah. You would also, I'm gonna lie, you would probably fuck with Grimjow a little bit too. Because, I mean, he just a crash out. But, yeah. Have you seen, Gacha Akuta, however you pronounce it? It's like the one with the white-haired nigga who got the power of like trash and he got gloves and shit. There's a nigga in there that if you haven't seen that shit, then there's a character in there I know you definitely will fuck with. You'll fuck with that nigga Jabber. That nigga Jabber fucking he a nigga. Yeah, he different.
Wasn't enough. So by becoming Getsuga itself, Ichigo
That's the one with the hip hop dude, right? What is his? Did you see what weapon he was using?
unleashed his ultimate attack, Mugetsu, defeating Aizen
His
at
maiden.
the cost of
Like, was he freestyling at one point?
all his power.
He might have saved everyone, but now it was back to Normieville.
Ichigo
He beat somebody's ass and oh god, yeah, that's my nigga Jabber. Yeah, that's Jabber. You will fuck with him. Like, all right, I want to say, was he freestyling at one point? All right, yeah.
never truly
That's
realized until then just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive,
You know, just brothers being brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm just having some niggy nerd time, doing a niggy reaction. Well, a nerd reaction. But, you know what I'm saying? Welcome back, brother. Just tapping up all the brothers.
his pride in himself was gone. He would give anything to get it back.
And he did, thanks to a surprise assist from Rukia. Boom! Shinigami again!
Just in time for a 1,000-year blood war with a final endgame boss.
Now, see, I didn't finish 1,000-Year Blood War. I still need to watch this. I'm only up to like episode 5. So I don't know how strong or what has changed with Ichigo so far until I catch up to that. Other than that, I'm only going to keep it to the main series because I haven't seen all of this.
Yhwach.
Who planned to end everything. And while other Shinigami tried their best, only Ichigo was special enough to pull it off.
His father was a Shinigami. His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's and possessed by a hollow. Hence, his two Zanpakuto spirits, one Quincy, the other hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo a perfect union to break Yhwach's plan. Finally, Ichigo understood himself, fully unifying with both Zanpakuto spirits within. With that came a new Shikai and 2 new Zanpakuto.
True Shikai! If you thought Ichigo was strong before, oh boy, he's the strongest Shinigami alive. They're dead. Undead? Yeah.
Stronger than Kenpachi, who could split the Dangai in half. Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms. And strong enough to match Yhwach, even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up with Soul King power, Yhwach could nuke all 3 realms. The human world, Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo, plus the Dangai and Gargante.
See, I'm not even hip to this part, bro. I want to low-key just skip this part because I'm not hip. I'm not hip to this.
In between, which have a bunch of pocket dimensions sprinkled in. Hell, just the Soul King's corpse sent a shockwave across all the realms.
And it's not a matter of disrupting the flow of souls. Yhwach was going to end everything through sheer power alone.
But Ichigo still wasn't done powering up.
Entering a new half-hollow form and merging his
All right, damn it. I still need to watch. All right, I'm gonna skip this part only because I haven't fully watched it. You know what I'm saying? And I still want to fully see 1,000-Year Blood War. So I'm gonna skip that part. So a little bit of that information, you know, the power boost or whatever. We're just gonna take that out of the equation for right now. But I already said, you know, I already told you who I predicted is gonna unfortunately win this death battle. But okay, moving on to my boy Yusuke.
onward.
I'm black and I'm proud. And I'm pinning that. What are we watching? We're doing a niggy nerd reaction to anime characters. Another death battle to anime characters and shit, you know. You might not like it too much, but, you know. One of them's well, they're both my top. Is Bleach my top 5? Yeah, so DBZ. I mean, yeah, because I do fuck with Bleach. I guess Bleach would be in my top 5. I would be in my top. I guess it would be in my top 5. So, brother, I know. But now we get into like
Most
all right,
teenagers have no idea
This
what they
my
want to
nigga,
do with
though.
their life.
This my
However,
nigga right
that
here.
was hardly a problem for juvenile delinquent Yusuke
Yusuke
Urameshi
Urameshi.
because he
My
only ever
nigga.
wanted to do one thing.
box.
Throw hands!
Box, nigga. That's all he want to do is beat niggas the fuck up.
Don't matter who the
Let's
ups are,
go.
be they women, old folk, or babies, Yusuke lived to fight.
He don't give a damn who it is. If you challenge this nigga, he gonna beat you the fuck up. That's why I respect my nigga, bro.
It's what gave life meaning. Who
Don't give
cares
a
about
fuck.
stupid things like friends and family?
Which is why it
That
was
nigga
so
was born in a
surprising when
box.
one day he threw himself in front of a speeding car to save a child, bringing that reckless life to a screeching halt.
Whatever happened to
Raccoon
Human
claims
Z
it
shit. We still gotta watch that. I think we're up to the last one we watched was episode 3. We should be at 5 now. What's today? Tuesday? I think they drop every Thursday, so we should be up to 5 and it should be 6. So we probably got 2 episodes to binge.
Their victim.
But this
That last one was a little slow until the end when that nigga was boxing in the house. If he was there, but man, yeah, the episode was kind of slow. It was a slow burn, but then it got good towards the end.
is chapter 1 of a battle shonen, so death is hardly the end.
Surprisingly, though, it wasn't a
getting
spooky
woods.
skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This was Botan, whose job was to ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately, or
I
I
guess
guess
I'll lurk
fortunately
and
for
eat
him,
my
he was
crumpets.
such an
My bad,
asshole that the
proceed.
underworld didn't see him.
Well, good job getting your crimpets. Yeah, you know, I'm just doing my little react. I'm doing my little niggy nerd reaction, you know. I know it ain't everybody cup of tea, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be done. We're gonna do some things. What you got, you know what I'm saying? What you got planned for the night? You wanna play some games? You wanna get some more rivals in? You only played like 3 games last night. What your bike wanna do? You wanna play some rivals again?
His selfless death coming and didn't have any space prepared for him. Imagine being such a menace to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with its pants down.
So the underworld surrogate king, Koenma, offered Yusuke an alternative. He could return to life as an agent of the afterlife, a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally, Yusuke did what anyone would do in that situation and told Satan Jr. to stuff it. I mean, he was never really good for anything and no one was gonna miss him. But sweetheart was
Change
and wrong. Portal
being called move that
here he was testing
off surfaces for sneak attacks.
and twisted up for Kamehameha
You
from
niggas were taking
before
long
we
ass breaks
uncultured
for,
Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
Yusuke may be a
Wait, I
punk,
feel like
but he's
it was,
deceptively skilled and
maybe like
cunning.
5.
His cigarettes on his foe to track them in the dark.
Personally, I'd
4.
call that smart. And his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Cabano, who's said
you
to have
ain't
mastered
say-
all
you
forms
ain't
of
say-
martial combat.
But
You
his
ain't wanna
best
play
secret
it
is
all.
how quickly he improves.
your bike wanna do?
All it takes is a round of training
You
or
ain't say
someone
if you wanted to
threatening
get
his
on or
friends,
all.
and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger enemies, even if it means literally burning through
Ranked on a
f***ing local
with facing opponents, their soul
so all-star.
in watts. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Enough
Jesus.
to send Taguro to the grave.
Even after pushing past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face S-class threats like Sensui, a past spirit detective gone bad, and a great measuring stick for what top-tier demons are capable of.
Sensui was so yoked he couldn't even use all his power in the human world without
Dude, yeah, couldn't even. Yeah, that was nuts.
threatening to bring down the whole
Sensui
thing.
was nuts,
He
dude.
compared destroying the whole
I'm back under the bed,
goddamn
but we'll
planet
see.
to kicking an
Depending on my
anthill.
time, you know.
According to Genkai, Yusuke could destroy the planet
thug
too,
thizzle.
if he really wanted. And even A-class threats like King Enma have
But
shaken
hey,
both the
hey,
demon
Chetty,
and
the
human
thug
worlds.
thizzle.
That anima guy is strong as balls. In the past, he fought the Netherworld King Yakumo, who could eradicate the entire human world and remake the Netherworld.
But Yusuke's power surpassed both of them to the point where he overloaded Yakumo with his own energy. And do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-classes like Sensui, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker, because turns out Yusuke was a demon himself.
Literally. Yusuke is the descendant of an ancient and incredibly powerful being, one of the strongest in existence, Ryzen, the Demon King.
With his Bazoku mark, Yusuke can channel Raizen's spirit for a huge power boost and a massive thirst for murder boost. This was his first taste of a dangerous new type of spirit energy, Yoki.
A form of energy used by demons. Like normal Reiki, it can be amplified by intense emotions. Unlike normal Reiki, its use creates a pleasurable feeling, feeding into the user's rage and bloodlust, the feral animal within.
So Yusuke upgraded his spirit gun to a
I
demon
know.
gun.
No one's-
It's the same
one's
thing,
typing it.
but red. Oh, and it's strong enough to blast Sensui past the horizon, putting Yusuke's
Literally
power firmly in
doing
S-class.
it.
And making him a prime candidate
Go
to
over there and say
rule
something.
the
You'll see it
demon
pop up.
world. But as he was thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was what he really wanted.
Self-reflection? From I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi? Nah, we can worry about that later. There's a tournament to win. Which one of you, girl, baby, or grandparents is first?
Even then, as Yusuke took on the Demon King Yomi in an epic final battle, he was still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even achieving a unique version of the Mozoku form separate from Raizen's influence.
And a brand spanking new form of power. Kinda like Sensui's secret energy, but
that
even
shit
better.
was OP. I can't. Yeah. Now I want to see how they actually classify
unprecedented. He wrote a human world, and the spirit detective will be.
Long has its return been foretold, but now, finally, it is reborn.
The original Death Battle shirt that.
Ain't nobody worried about that. I'm trying to get a fight.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Let's get it.
But it wouldn't be possible without his shitty gun.
To support the show, look behind the scenes facilities.
Let's go.
That's a demon. That's a hollow.
That's a
no
demon.
doubt about it. Yatsuga Tensho!
Let's go, Yusuke. Did he just shoot this nigga in the dick?
Chump change. Huh? Reckless idiot! What a baby! Little demon energy got you scared? Nah. Getsuga! Yujisho! Two at once? Damn, why didn't I think of that?
Let's go, Yusuke.
Give in to me, Yusuke. Let's devour him together.
Hell no! This is my fight, jackass! You just hold me back!
Let's go, Yusuke.
Yeesh, rude awakening. This one's a piece of work.
Jesus.
Need a hand, partner? Let's do it. Like old times.
On! Kai! Tensa! Sangetsu!
Is that the best you can do? I can go even faster if you'd like. Hell yeah! Bring it on, asshole!
Let's go, Yusuke.
I'll kill you even if it kills me! I'm putting it all on the line! You better do the same! Screw that!
Come on, man. Yusuke gotta crash out, nigga.
Freaking break. See you on the other side.
KO!
And I ultimately,
Think the afterlife offers.
I ultimately said that too, though. I was like, bro, I'm already knowing that Yusuke Urameshi is probably not going to win this fight just because Ichigo is a little stronger and he has more comfortability with fighting. He's been fighting longer. So I don't, even though it pains me to see my boy sliced and diced, but yeah, I already knew Ichigo was probably gonna win this.
Frequent flyer miles?
There's a lot to cover here, so let's break this down into 4 chapters, starting with their abilities.
Yusuke could see Ichigo no problem, and resist auras like Togoro's that are similar to Reiatsu, so Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched. Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing factor, greater stamina given his months of Dangai training,
and all those swords! He just had way more abilities to play with.
Likewise, speed was a fairly easy call. Yusuke could react to lightning early on and obviously got much faster over time. Looking at this blast from his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo was faster than light from the start, and he's gotten faster too. He couldn't even see Byakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch. Plus, he's got tons of training and power-ups since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed, and Ichigo reacted to attacks from Soul King Yhwach that utilized the same power. So, Ichigo takes speed.
Yeah.
But Yusuke's fought plenty of foes faster and more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt mid-fight.
This is kinda both their things. Ichigo has styled on guys with centuries of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami. He's pretty good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match Kabano, who mastered every martial art. Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand, but it's not his go-to in the same way.
So, both had their strong suits, with advantages on each side. It's fair to call this one a draw.
Leaving only the biggest winning factor, which could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Between Sensui, Genkai, and Enma, Yusuke could definitely destroy the planet. Examining his sky-splitting clash with Yomi and measuring its scale, that's about 4 quadrillion megatons of TNT, which is crazy.
Similarly, mid-series Ichigo could shake Huecomundo, tear through hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yhwach, who could destroy several realms, which is far more impressive than just one.
To be fair,
Alright, I don't need you to rub it in anymore. Yeah, I already knew that was about to happen.